everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and coming back to watch this video. So today I just kind of wanted to go over the 10 new spring and summer scents with you. I think this would be a fairly quick video. This is just a video that I've been meaning to get up. It's a video that I've been meaning to record. I should have done this a long time ago when the spring and summer catalog released, but you know, things got really crazy around that time and I just never actually recorded the video. But I mean, I have warmed these bars. I've been warming these bars and I have formed a lot of opinions about the 10 new scents. So I just decided that I would, share my opinions with you and, let you know what I think about these bars, which ones were my favorites and which ones, ranked towards the end for me. Like I said, all 10 of these bars are the new releases from the spring summer catalog. So that means that you can still get these bars right now. If you hear any of these bars that you're interested in, you can go on the website and grab them right now, or you can add them to your club. I know a lot of you have probably already tried these bars. You've already formed your opinions about them. And so I am sorry that this video is going up late, but I just wanted to give you my opinions just in case you're curious. So I think what I'm going to do is go over these bars in order of how I rank them, just because that's how my notes are here in front of me. And also that way you kind of know what order I put them in. Now the order that they are in is based on how they did warming. I obviously had them in a different order when I just sniffed them cold for the first time. And I will kind of go over that as I talk about each bar, if it changed from when I first smelled it and then how it did once it warmed. Now my first and second place of these 10 new releases, was definitely a really close tie. It was really hard for me to choose my absolute favorite out of these just because I really love the top two so much. But ultimately, I did choose Island Bloom as my favorite of the 10 new releases. So it's this really pretty pink bar. I love that about it as well. The description for this one says, a tropical expedition abundant with bright starfruit and watermelon shaded by island palm. And this one is in the fruity category. So I do love fruity bars, especially right now. Spring, summer, I love fruity bars. But what I love about this one is watermelon. I really do like the smell of watermelon. And there have been some bars in the past that I used to have in my club that I no longer have. I used to have watermelon mint. I used to have watermelon patch. And the only other one I can think of that I reach for a lot is the Moana bar. That one has like a watery melon note. So it's the closest thing that I have that I can reach for watermelon until this one was released. So now if I'm really wanting to smell some watermelon, I throw this one in the warmers. And I have fell in love with how good this bar is. This bar was actually really strong for me. Now, I know I say that a lot. It might not be strong for someone else just because, like I said, I am kind of sensitive to scent. Out here, I really only use about 3 cubes of wax in this big open space. And I know that would not be enough probably for most people. But for my husband and I, we can smell the scents just fine out here with 3 cubes of wax. Now, sometimes if it's a lighter scent, I will have to use 4. I think there have been a couple bars where I might have had to use 5, but I hardly ever use that much wax out here. And I like to cut the cubes up into small pieces and I just put them in a bunch of warmers and distribute the scent, around this whole space. And it kind of helps to scent the area. So I did use 3 cubes out here the first time that I warmed it. And then the other 2 cubes, I have since put this in my bedroom and tried it that way. This is my second bar of this. So I think the original bar, I might have put a cube in the bathroom and tried it in the bathroom. It was really good there. So this particular scent, I would warm it anywhere in the house, quite honestly, but I really like it out here in the open concept just because it's so fruity. It was strong to me the first time that I smelled it. It was really intense. But I think that was just because it was the first time that I warmed it. Since then, I don't find it to be quite as strong, but it's definitely average, maybe a little bit past average for me. And I love that about it. It is extremely fruity. It went for about 1.5 days out here. And in the smaller spaces, like the bathroom, if I remember correctly, I think I got about 2 days out of the bathroom. And I think that I got about 2 days in the bedroom with this fragrance. Now, it was obviously getting a little lighter, so I think that I just went ahead and took it out of the warmers at that point. The scent wasn't completely gone, but once my scents start getting to a point where I really can't smell them that well, I just want to be done with it. I want to change it, put something else in, or add more of the same fragrance, whatever. So I just remember loving this one so much. Now, it has been a little while since I've worn this just because I have been trying to review lots of other bars. I have the Bring Back My Bars here now that I've been trying to review. So it's been a little while, but I definitely want to reach for it. I think this scent is absolutely beautiful. I love it. It also reminds me a lot of Aloha Orchid. If you know what that scent is, it's not a dupe for that or anything. There's just something about it that reminds me of that fragrance. You know, I did have that bar in my club. I had Aloha Orchid. My husband and I liked that bar. It was a little bit too floral for us. It was kind of leaning that way. But there was something about that bar that both of us liked. There was almost like a bubblegum note with that bar. And there was like a sweet fragrance with it. So my husband and I liked it. And we don't normally like floral bars. So it was hard for me to delete it. But I mean, we just didn't reach for it that often. So when this bar came out and I was able to try it, I mean, I was just reminded of Aloha Orchid, except for the fact that this one is way more fruity, which is perfect for us. So I definitely prefer it over Aloha Orchid. Aloha Orchid was more on the floral side, and this one is more on the fruity side. This one obviously has watermelon in it, which Aloha Orchid did not have, but I don't know. It's beautiful. I love this so much. Right here, you can really smell the watermelon. To me, I can smell a lot of watermelon. Now, I smell a lot of the star fruit as well, but when it warms, I just really smell that watermelon note, and that's my favorite. I love that about it. I think that this bar is blended absolutely beautiful. Like I said, because you can still smell the star fruit, and it's just so fruity, and it's just so good. It's juicy, and it's perfect for summer. You know, just because I am sensitive to coconut, so around summertime, I really can't do a lot of Scentsy's tropical type scents around summer, just because they usually put a lot of like coconut type fragrances, and you know, I can get headaches from that. So a fruity fragrance like this is perfect for me, and I love reaching for it, you know, now. And I'm definitely going to reach for it next year because I'll have some here, and then I can start warming it even earlier, probably February. I would start warming this even around like Valentine's Day and warm it all the way through summer. Love this very, very much. It does lean a little bit tropical. I like that about it too. It like leans a little bit tropical without having to worry about coconut. So this one's definitely number one for me. I'm definitely going to throw it in my club. I probably will only put one in my club. I'll probably stock up, you know, at the end of spring, summer. I'll probably grab a couple of these to put in my stash, and then I'll just put one in my club, because even though I'll probably warm it all summer, this isn't really a scent I would warm all year. And so usually if I have multiples in my club, it's because it's something that I want to warm year round, or it's something that I warm a lot of. But there's that one. Love this one. Okay, so number two for me, if you've been watching my videos, it's probably no surprise that number two for me is this beautiful bar for Wildflowers. So it's this really pretty yellow color. I've also been through a couple of these bars as well. Actually, I have reached for this bar more than Island Bloom. Even though I absolutely love Island Bloom, and I did put Island Bloom as number one, this bar is so good. Like, I have been reaching for this one a lot. So unlike Island Bloom, this bar right here, I will probably put two of this one in my club because this is a scent I would use year round. So the description for Wildflowers says bright yuzu, juicy tangerine, and sweet lychee complement a beautiful bouquet of wildflowers. And they did put this bar in the citrus category, which is definitely where it needs to be. This is definitely a citrus bar. I wish that they would have named it something else because, you know, it's named Wildflowers, and you don't smell wildflowers in this bar. I don't smell anything floral in this bar. There might be something way in the background that's given it maybe a slight floral edge to it, but not enough for it to say Wildflowers. In my opinion, that name is just deterring people from trying this bar. If there's someone like me and they steer clear of floral, I could see how they just wouldn't even read the description. They wouldn't see what category it's in, and they wouldn't even give this bar a chance. There have actually been a couple of my customers who I have specifically pointed out this bar to them. I gave them samples of this bar. I have told them, please try this bar. I know you don't like floral, but just trust me. Just try this bar. I think that you will love it. So, and they did. So it's just kind of like I had to push them and nudge them a little bit, like look past the name of this bar and just try it. So I do wish Scentsy would have named it something else. I do think the names of bars are super important. I really hope this bar comes back next year, but if this is not a bestseller, I could see the reason for that being, you know, the name. It was keeping people from trying it. Now, this one did take just a little bit to get going in my warmers. The first time that I warmed it, I noticed that about it. It's also a citrus scent, so I don't think this one has the best longevity out of the bunch. And I'm okay with that just because I'm used to citrus scents being like that for me. And I still absolutely adore this fragrance. I really do. I mean, I will warm it mostly in spring and summer, but I still, like I said, if I want to reach for a citrus bar at any other point during the year, I really do like this one a lot. So even though this one for me takes just a little bit to get going in my warmers, I still feel like it's a medium average type bar for me. It did fine out here in the open concept for me. I could smell it, but I could see how maybe someone would say they need a little bit more wax of this one, just because I do think, even though it performed well, it wasn't an aggressive type scent. It was kind of like a soft citrus, and I really liked that about it. I did warm it one day in the bathroom, and it was absolutely beautiful in there. It performed a lot better in a smaller space, and I could really smell the citrus notes. So, I mean, it really, really was beautiful in a smaller space as well. It did go about 20 hours for me. So it didn't go, like I said, quite the 24 hours, which is what I like my bars to do. But again, it's such a beautiful citrus that I don't care. I'm still going to add this one to my club. I do think the yuzu note, I guess it's the yuzu that's making it seem really bright and super citrus. And there's definitely a sweetness with this one. It's, like I said, it's definitely not a powerhouse type bar, but if you like citrus scents, I definitely think you should give this one a try because it's lovely. Okay, now my third bar. Third place is going to a bar that I would not have thought would have been my third place. There are definitely some bars in here that surprised me. So a third place for me is going to be Desert Twilight. I really, really like this bar a lot. I am shocked with myself, honestly. This bar is in the woods category. So the fact that it's in third place for me and this is a woods category is unheard of. I mean, I don't usually really care for woods type bars, but there was something about this one that was just so calming and so beautiful. Now, this one also, I feel like might have a very slight amber note to it. I don't know that for sure because it's not listed in the description, but I feel like there might be just a hint of amber in this one, which surprises me even more that I love this one as much as I do. The description says, saguaro blossom stands tall over warm clay and sandalwood at golden hour. So in my opinion, this is a lighter, softer, relaxing type scent. I could see how someone would think that this one doesn't have the best performance because it is a softer bar. But for me, I really love that about it because usually bars in the woods category are either really, really sharp or they're really, really strong. They're powerhouse type bars. And I can't really use them. But this one was so beautiful. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this one that I love, but I really love this one. This is another bar that I could see myself reaching for all year round if I want something like this. Now, obviously in the fall, I'm going to want my pumpkins and apples and things like that. And then usually around the holidays, you know, I want my Christmas type scents. But every once in a while, if I just want a cozy type bar, this one has definitely got that cozy type vibe to it. And I haven't tried mixing it with anything yet, but I also think that I'm going to try a few mixes with this bar because I think it would blend really well with some other scents. I do think maybe it leans a little bit towards a masculine type vibe slightly. I do like masculine bars, so maybe that's why. I don't know. The sandalwood in this one makes it feel kind of cozy, I guess. I think this is a perfect bar for summertime, for late summer, leading into fall. Now, for me, I'm ready to break out my pumpkin bars and my apple bars come August. So even though I think this would be a perfect bar for somebody who's not really like me and absolutely loves fall, you're not ready to break out your fall bars, maybe you want to warm this, but this one's perfect for that. I love this one. There's also something about this bar that gives me almost a suede type vibe. Like I can almost feel like I smell something suede way in the background with this one, and I love that about it. So for me, this bar was average enough. It was definitely strong enough for me to be an average type bar. However, I could see how for someone else, this would be less than average because it is on the softer side. It is on the lighter side. Oh, but it's so pretty. I love this one. Now, it does kind of have that vibe, that same vibe as Sedona Sunset. I don't know if some of you remember that one. I believe that was a Bring Back My Bar recently, and I did try it, and I did like that bar. There was something about it, though, that almost gave me a headache. So I did have that one in my club, and I took it out. And I'm glad that I did, because I'm going to add this one to club. And I wouldn't have kept both of those bars in my club anyway, because they're kind of similar. Like I said, I don't like to have things in my club that are just really, really similar. And I prefer this one. So I would have definitely took out Sedona Sunset and kept this one if I would have kept it in my club anyway. But this one did about 1.5 days out here in the open concept. It was getting really, really soft after that. I probably could have pushed it 2 days if I wanted to. But like I said, I mean, I do like my scents softer, but I don't really want to not smell them at all. So at that point, I took it out of the warmers. I have since warmed this one in the bathroom, and it goes at least 2 days in the bathroom. It's absolutely beautiful. But this, for me, really isn't a bathroom type fragrance. For me, I'm going to be warming this one out here or in the bedroom. It absolutely did beautiful in the bedroom as well. And it went about 2 days in the bedroom and loved it. I really did love it. So again, one of my favorites here, third place, completely shocked by. I don't usually like woodsy, earthy type bars. I wouldn't say it's super earthy, but it's just more kind of leaning that way than any other bars that I have in my stash. So if you're like me and you usually like bakery, or you usually like, citrus and fruity, and you don't normally lean for these type of things, maybe give this one a chance, because it really, really surprised me. But this one's going in club. This one's going in club for sure. Fourth place for me is another surprise. I was not expecting to love this bar as much as I do, especially because of the notes that's in the description. But fourth place for me is Italian Sunshine. So it's really pretty wax. I love this bar very, very much. This one is in the fruity category, but the description says, cheerful rays of Italian bergamot and sun-kissed coconut shine on sweet berries and warm amber. So this one has coconut and amber in it, and I'm actually a really big fan of this bar. I am so shocked. I know if you've been watching my videos, you know I usually don't do coconut, and I definitely don't usually do amber. But for some reason, this bar is, the amber that's in this bar isn't like really heavy. This is like a brighter type bar, and I don't know, even though it does have a little bit of a perfume type edge to it, it's not overly perfume. And I guess it's because it's bright, and it also has the berries in it, so it's in the fruity category. It also has almost a citrus type edge to it, which I guess is the bergamot. So usually I like bergamot, but I know bergamot can lean different ways. I mean, sometimes bars can smell masculine with bergamot, sometimes they can smell soapy, I believe, with bergamot, and then sometimes they can smell like citrusy with bergamot. So I don't know, but the way that all these notes are blended in this bar, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, I have to say, I have to be really, really careful with this bar, because for me, because it has the coconut and the amber, I can still smell the amber in this one. Like I said, it does have a perfume type edge to it, and I don't get along well with those type of bars because they can give me a headache. But something about this one makes it a little different, I guess because it is brighter. But I only used 2 cubes out here in the open concept, and that was amazing. I don't know what it is about this bar, but I mean, the second that I put it in my warmers, I mean, it only took like a few minutes. I could already smell it. It was already filling up this space. I would say within, the hour, it just took over this whole space. It was going down into my laundry room. It was kind of drifting back into the bedroom. It was crazy. So it's definitely a strong performer in my opinion. And then I also did 1 cube in the bathroom on a separate day, and it was coming out of the bathroom. It was coming into the kitchen area. So this is definitely one of those bars that kind of takes over where you put it. So I just feel like for me, this is one of those bars that I can get by with using just a little bit less wax. So I'm glad that I only did the 2 cubes out here. I did that because it said it had amber and coconut, and I honestly was really scared of getting a headache from this one, but I really didn't. I think that if I would do more wax than that, I might would. This one for me was very intense. Like I said, it was strong. It took over the house. I don't really smell much coconut with this one, which is probably why I'm able to warm it. There was every once in a while, I thought maybe I was getting a whiff of some coconut there, but by no means do I think this is a coconut heavy scent or anything like that. So if you're wanting it to have a lot of coconut, you probably would have to mix something else with coconut with it, or, you know, just skip this one and try something else. But it was really, really beautiful. Like I said, I do smell the amber a little bit, and then I feel like that's giving it almost like the perfume body care edge. And then there's a creaminess with this one that I don't know where that's coming from, but when it warms, it's not really vanilla. It doesn't really smell like vanilla to me. It's just like a creaminess that's helping the bar to blend. I don't know, there was a fruitiness, there was a sweetness, it was beautiful. As far as longevity goes, this one is definitely a powerhouse as far as how intense it is for me and as far as how it takes over the house. But for longevity, I wouldn't be able to push this one past, you know, a day and a half, maybe a little bit longer than that out here in the open concept, just because it was starting to get a little bit lighter. I don't know if that's because this is, like I said, a brighter type scent. It does say it's in the fruity category, but, you know, citrus scents for me don't usually last very long. So I think this one kind of has like a little bit of a citrus fruity edge. So maybe that's why. But it did at least 2 days in the bathroom, and I've yet to try this one in my bedroom, but I do want to do that and see how it performs in there. But beautiful, beautiful bar. Like I said, this one is 4th place for me. I'm trying to decide about club. Do I want to add this one to club? You know, I definitely want to put my top 3 bars, the Island Bloom, the Wildflowers, and the Desert Twilight in my club. And after I do that, I mean, I just have so many other bars that I might not be able to add this one as well, because I just have so many other bars that I love that I want to keep in my club. But I'm hoping that this comes back. If nothing else, I do hope that this one, you know, comes back next year and I'm still able to get my hands on it. But we'll see. I'm going to warm it some more. I actually considered mixing this one with some of my lemon bars, whether I mix it in the same warmer or alternate warmers and make it even brighter. So I'm going to try doing that too. If I end up falling in love with it even more than I do, then yeah, I'll probably just go ahead and add it to club. Okay, so the bar that I put in 5th place is also a little bit of a surprise to me. I chose Barefoot Beach for 5th place. And the description for it says, warm sand beckons as sweet coconut and macadamia wander over island driftwood. Now, this is a woods category scent. Again, it is a very beautiful scent, but this one is almost too much for me. This one is a little bit heavier. This one has the coconut in it. I can definitely smell it, but it is so pretty. It is such a pretty scent. Honestly, I can't use much of this one. So I did 2 cubes out here in the open concept, and then I put a half a cube in the bathroom, and I tried it in the bathroom. I was able to tolerate it a lot better in the bathroom just because I can kind of go in there and then leave. But out here, 2 cubes was almost too much for me. I mean, it was starting to give me a headache after it had been in the warmer for about 15 hours. It was just felt like it was getting heavier, but it was so beautiful. I loved it so much. It definitely leans a little bit on the body care side, and that when coconut and things like that lean body care, that is usually when, you know, that's like starts to affect me. If it's like a body care type fragrance, or like I said, it's something that leans kind of perfumey. But this scent was strong for me. It was strong. Now, I could see how somebody else would think it's soft, but it was an amazing performer. This is another one that was traveling. I mean, it was taking over the house. It was going into my bedroom. So for me, this one was intense. I'm not sure how everybody else felt about this one, but it was an intense bar for not using even 3 cubes. Even in this clamshell, it just smells strong to me. It really does. I knew when I smelled this one on cold that this one was going to be strong, which is why I only did the 2 out here. It does, you know, it does kind of give those beachy type vibes. It's like a little bit of like a nutty type scent. It's smooth. It has like a little bit of sweetness to it. There's definitely like that coconut, vanilla type fragrance. I don't know. It's really, really pretty. It does mention driftwood. Sometimes if fragrances have driftwood in them, I feel like they can lean a little bit manly. This one didn't really do that. So I really wouldn't consider this one a woodsy type fragrance, but if you didn't have it in the woods category, I don't know what else you would put it in. So I guess it needs to stay in that category, but it's definitely a very pretty fragrance. So this for me, it just smells like this really beautiful coconut vanilla type body care that I think is absolutely gorgeous. It's just a little heavy for me, that's all. But I love this one. Like I said, I put it in the 5th place. I don't think I'll be adding this one to Club just because I don't think this is a fragrance that I can warm that often, but I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really loved it. This is another one that I haven't been able to mix with anything. So if I can find a really beautiful mix for it, I could see myself keeping this one. The longevity of this one was about 2 days out here in the open concept. And I took it out after that. When I put it in the bathroom, it definitely went 2.5 days. It probably could have went a little further than that, but I just went ahead and changed it at that point. But this one is a really good one. I love it a lot. I just don't think I'm going to be adding that one to Club. But I do hope that this one comes back next year. I feel like it's a really great performer and some of my customers have loved it. So I do hope it comes back in the catalog next year. Okay, the next one here. So after I did my top 5, it was really hard for me to put the rest of these in order because honestly, there wasn't one that stood out as a favorite to me with these last 5. I mean, there's some that I liked a little bit better, but I mean, none of these are club bars for me for these last 5 here. But I went ahead and I put Ocean Shimmer as number 6. And Ocean Shimmer, honestly, should have been a bar that was in my top 3 because it's a fresh category bar. And you would think that this would have been a bar that I would have put in my top 3. The description for Ocean Shimmer says, Capri lemon sparkles like sunshine alongside blue musk and a splash of sea spray. So when I first read this description, I was like, oh yeah, this one's going to be in my top 3 for sure. It's a fresh category. It has like this lemon in it. It's got musk in it and it has sea spray in it. I mean, I just knew for sure that this was going to be a favorite of mine. And this one was just a really big disappointment. I think this one was the biggest disappointment for me out of the bunch here, just because I had such high hopes for this one based off of the description. I thought it was going to be something that I really loved. And I don't mean that I don't like it. I mean, I still think that it's a pretty bar and I still think that a lot of people will love it. I was just expecting something unique. I just thought I was going to love it more than I do, and I don't. So I mean, it was just a little bit of a disappointment. I have warmed a good bit of this one because I keep going back trying to love it. I did the 3 cubes out here, and then I've done 1 cube in the bathroom twice. So I've warmed it in my bathroom twice, almost trying to convince myself that I love this bar, but I don't love it. There are so many other fresh category bars out there that are so much better in my opinion. So the fact that it has the musk and it has the sea spray, I mean, I just thought it was going to be one of my favorites, but honestly, I can't really smell the sea spray. I don't smell anything salty about this bar. In my opinion, I do think that it leans a little aquatic and smells fresh, but I don't smell sea spray, okay, because I would expect a little bit of saltiness. And honestly, when this was warming, I thought that I smelled a hint of apple, like way in the background, apple, not lemon. So I don't know if that was just me, if I had just convinced myself of that. But I really did think that I was smelling like a hint of apple one day when this was warming, like a green apple way in the background. So I also think that this bar was a little bit lighter than average. Out here, it went about 18 hours and it was barely average as far as intensity goes because, you know, normally fresh bars, they do really well out here in the open concept. But this one, I feel like I was struggling to smell it and I was having to search for it. So, I mean, I thought that was kind of odd because I was just expecting it to do better. Also, this one says it has musk in it. And usually if a bar says that it has musk in it, I get better longevity from those type of bars. But this one, I only got a good 18 hours out here in the open concept. After that, it was pretty much, I couldn't smell it. I was having to like constantly search for it. I could have left it in the warmers for maybe 20 hours or something like that. But I mean, I really wasn't smelling it at 18 hours. So I took it out. In the bathroom, I did get it to do about 24 hours in the bathroom. But again, in order for me to smell it really, really good and get the type of strength that I get from my other fresh bars, I think I would have had to have done 2 cubes in the bathroom. And normally I just do 1 cube in the bathroom. Just a disappointment. I don't know. And I still put it as, 6th place because it is a fresh bar and I enjoyed the fragrance for what it was. And maybe some of you out there love it. If I compare it to the other fresh bars that I have in my club, it's a disappointment to me. Let me know down below if you really like this one or if it was a letdown for you as well. I don't know. It was just kind of so-so for me. So number 7 was hard for me to choose, but I chose to put Freshwater Sage as number 7. So it looks like this. The description says that it has vibrant citrus zest and it has bergamot tea leaves and marine musk. So when I read the description of this with vibrant citrus zest, having bergamot tea leaves and marine musk, that just sounds so unique to me. And I really thought that this one was going to be in, my top 5 for sure. I thought it was, but there's something about this bar that keeps me from absolutely loving it. I did like this bar. I do think that it's unique. There is a bitterness to this bar that I don't really care for. And I don't know if that's the citrus zest that's giving it like a little bit of a bitterness. It also mentions marine musk, which I do feel like there's something about the bar that almost gives it an ocean air type note. So maybe that's that. And then I also feel like there's like a herbal tea type of greenness to this with the citrus type note. It's just a very, very unique bar. And when I first smelled it, I thought it was going to be strong. So I did the 3 cubes out here in the open concept and I couldn't smell this bar. I don't know what's wrong with me. I could smell it for the first little while, like maybe 8 hours. And then after that, I was really struggling to smell the bar. Honestly, I was sitting here in the kitchen at the dining room table and I was working on a few things and I was like, did I forget to put stuff in the warmers? Like, why don't I smell that scent? I thought that I put the new scent in the warmers and, I went over to my warmers and I had put this bar in the warmers. It was gone. I just did not smell it anymore. So I personally went nose blind to this fragrance. Now I left the room and I went out for a little while and I came back in and I could definitely smell it. So I don't know what happened there, why this bar I don't really smell, because it smells like it would be a strong bar. It's very like zingy, citrusy, and like a greenness to it, but I don't really smell it after a couple of hours. I did leave this in the warmers for 24 hours, and if I would leave the room and come back, I could still smell it. But when I'm in the room, like I said, I don't smell this bar. I don't know if it's because, this is an open concept and maybe it just struggled out here. So personally, this isn't a bar I could warm out here. I think this one would do better in a bathroom. I haven't done that yet. I haven't warmed it in the bathroom just because I don't want to have to baby a bar in my opinion. Like if I'm going to purchase a bar or leave it in my club, I either have to really, really love the fragrance so much that I'm going to baby the bar to try to get better performance out of it. Or, I'm just not going to use it. I'll just get something else. And that's kind of how I feel with this one. It's kind of a take it or leave it. So for the rest of the bar that I have left, I will probably use it in the bathroom. I will try it in there. I will see how it does. Now, if for some reason I just fall in love with this fragrance in the bathroom, then maybe I'll grab a couple more, but I don't think this is one that I would add to club. I wanted to love this one. I still think a lot of people will love this one. If you want something unique and different, this one is different. I could see this being a year-round type of fragrance, maybe that some of you would love just because it does lean citrusy. The category for this one says fresh. So it does kind of have like a clean freshness to it, but there's also like a bitterness with the citrus zest. Like, I don't know, maybe a little bit peppery almost. I don't know. There's just something there that wasn't my favorite, but it was different. I have to give them that. So there's that. So for number 8, I chose sweet lime and peach. This is a really pretty bar. I do like this bar. It was just entirely too much for me. So this one is in the fruity category. The description says, fresh lime and garden mint add zest to ever sweet peach blossom. And like I said, they put this in the fruity category, which I don't know if I completely agree with that. This one is very green and very intense. It smells, okay, when I first smelled this one on cold, I was like, okay, there's a lot of greenness to this one. It's very lime, but the lime is kind of bitter. It's kind of zingy and like zesty, like the rind from a lime. And then you've got the mint with that as well. So I don't smell anything sweet about this bar. Honestly, it says ever sweet peach blossom. I don't even really smell the peach. I struggle to smell any peach. And I think it's just because the greenness from the mint and the lime is just too much. It overpowers the bar for me. I can't get past that to smell any sweetness or peach with this bar. So I did 3 cubes out here. I don't know what I was thinking. I did 3 cubes out here and my eyes were burning. Burning. I had to take this out of the warmers. It didn't give me a headache or anything like that. But I mean, it was so strong in here that my eyes were literally burning and almost watering. And I know that's because I'm just sensitive to scents sometimes. I cannot imagine someone using a whole bar of this. I mean, I would have had to leave my house. My husband would have had to come air it out. I just would not have been able to come home. This was just too much for me. I do like the scent. I have not been brave enough yet to warm it again. I was going to try another cube of this out here in the open concept. Just do 1 cube and see how that does, because I liked the scent. I think the scent is very unique, and I do like lime. I like lime scents a lot more than I used to. But for me, I'm going to gravitate towards key lime and grapefruit. I love that bar. It is actually like sugared and like sweet. And that's more what I want versus a sharp, strong lime like this one that's more bitter. And this one is more like a clean lime. Okay, so if you want a bar that's more like fresh and clean, this one right here would be probably more like what you want. If you want a lime that's kind of sweet and more like sugary, then key lime and grapefruit, the lime in that one would probably be more like what you're looking for. But there's something about this fragrance that I love and that I want to smell. Okay, I've said this before, you know, like if you have an odor in the house and you want to cut through that odor, scents like this, you know, I will reach for it to do that. So if I had an odor in the house and I wanted to cut through that odor, I could definitely see myself reaching for this bar, because let me tell you, this is a strong bar to me and it would definitely cut through that and, you know, fill this space. This bar filled my space extremely quickly and took over the house. Like it was going into the bedroom, it was going into the laundry room. So for me, this was an amazing performer. And I don't think I'll be adding this one to club because it's just too much for me. It would take me a while to go through a bar of these, but I think I'll probably try it again. I'm going to try it out here using less wax. I'm going to try it in the bathroom. And if I get along with it without my eyes burning, then I will grab a couple of these at the end of spring just to keep in my stash. And then that way I'll have them for next year, because this was summery to me. And I really enjoyed the fragrance. It was clean and fresh and it was beautiful. I did like it. I think it's unique. And I could see how this one would come back next year because there's really nothing else like it. Oh, and also, you know, the whiff box for this month, for June, has a pack of pods in this fragrance. And the video that I just recently uploaded, the one before this one, when I went over the June whiff box, I go over that fragrance and it smells really good. Like that, it is strong in the pods, but it's not, I don't think it would bother my eyes or be like overly strong like this wax was. So I do love this fragrance in the pods. So there's also like a herbal note to this bar. I don't know exactly what that is either. I don't know if it's because it just smells so green to me that it's coming off kind of herbal. So personally, I would not have put this in the fruity category. I would probably put this in the fresh category, I guess. I don't really know what category I would put this in, but I don't think fruity is where it needs to be. I want to love it, but that is so just strong and intense to me. Like right now, I almost feel like I need to sneeze. That's just how strong it is. It's making me feel like I need to sneeze. So unfortunately, I can't tell you the longevity of this one just because I had to take it out of the warmers early because it was bothering me so much. But I am going to try this one again and I'll see how it does. I feel like the longevity for this one would be pretty good. I think it would be at least 24 hours for me. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about this one. Did you think that this one was strong and what the longevity was like for you with this one? So the bottom two bars that I have here are floral bars. I'm sure that you could guess that I was going to put the floral bars in the bottom two. The one that I chose for 9th place is Pearlescent Coast. It's this really pretty bar. I love this color. Now, just because they're in the bottom two does not mean that I don't like the fragrances, because I do. I cannot handle these fragrances. I really tried to love this one. Okay. I did the 3 cubes out here in the open concept, even though when I smelled this bar on cold, I thought it smelled a little sharp to me. And then I did 1 cube in the bathroom on another day. And this one to me, it is in the floral category. So I still think this is definitely a floral bar, but it also has a fresh vibe to it. The description for Pearlescent Coast says lotus blossom, bamboo, and a silky wave of apricot musk. And there's definitely a sharpness here that I noticed on cold, and it's definitely there when it warms. And I can't figure out, is it coming from the lotus blossom? Is it coming from the bamboo? Is it possibly coming from the apricot? But there's something sharp here that I do not like. I know this is a floral bar, but yeah, there's just something in this bar that I personally cannot do. It's just too sharp for me. It was strong. So in my personal opinion, I feel like this one for me was slightly stronger than average out here in the open concept. I think I definitely could have been fine with just 2 cubes out here. It would have been more than enough for me. Even in the bathroom, I did the 1 cube in the bathroom. I could have probably done a half a cube and been just fine. It definitely went 24 hours out here. It went about 2 days in the bathroom, and I took it out after that because it was getting kind of light. But it's really, really a pretty scent. There's just a sharpness that I don't really care for. I was hoping when I read this description that I was going to smell more of like I don't know, I was expecting something more watery because it does say Pearlescent Coast. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but it's definitely still floral. And even there's a watery note, in my opinion. I feel like the watery note isn't like aquatic watery. It's like bamboo green watery. So I don't know. Just not for me, but really, really pretty. Like I said, in the bathroom, I think I probably could have left it about 2.5 days, but I took it out after the 2 just because it was getting kind of soft. But this was a good performer. So I mean, it was okay. It just wasn't my kind of scent. So the very last one here, I'm sure you guys could guess, it is a Sweet Pea and Freesia. And I have only used 1 cube of this bar. I put it in the bathroom. This is a floral fragrance. The description says sweet pea and colorful freesia float softly across tranquil rose water. And there is nothing tranquil about rose water, especially in this bar. They shouldn't have put tranquil in this description to me, because that rose is the main thing that I noticed in this. So not only do I struggle with floral bars, I really have a hard time with rose type fragrances because they can really give me headaches. And this one would have most definitely gave me a migraine if I would put this out here in this open concept. Just smelling this bar, actually, no, it's just too much for me. This is a beautiful fragrance. I actually have a couple customers who love this one, but it does have a powderiness to it. I feel like it's more of a mature ladies floral fragrance. Like I said, it's got the powderiness. Now, I usually love the scent of sweet pea, but I can't really tell that this is sweet pea. I don't really notice a sweet pea. I also can sometimes like freesia, and I don't really notice freesia. Maybe a little bit more freesia than sweet pea, because I really don't smell any sweet pea in this one. But you definitely smell rose. That's like all I smell. Lots and lots of rose. So if you like floral bars and you like rose, I definitely think you'll like this one. It is very, very strong, but in a soft, powdery way. But this is still an aggressive floral, in my opinion. It just is. if you're sensitive to florals, I don't know if you could do this one. This one was very, very strong in the bathroom. It was going strong at 2 days with 1 cube, and I took it out. I was done with this. I did not want to smell any more floral in there. So I took it out and I changed that. But I feel like someone could push it longer than that, especially if they didn't mind it getting a little bit lighter and softer. But no, not for me. So the rest of this bar I will not be using. I'll be giving this to someone who can enjoy it. Maybe my mother-in-law, because she loves floral bars. So there's that. You guys will have to let me know. What do you smell with this one as well? Just because I'm just not the best judge when it comes to these floral bars, just because I can't stay in the bathroom long enough when that one is warming to really be around the fragrance that long and try to figure out what I'm smelling. So that was it of the 10 new spring summer bars. I'm so sorry again, like I said, that this video is going up late. I know that you have probably already seen reviews of these bars, but at least now you know which ones I love, so that when I talk about them in the future, you'll kind of know what I thought about them and what my opinions were of them. So definitely the Island Bloom and the Wild for Wildflowers and the Desert Twilight are my 3 loves here that are going to be going in my club. And the Desert Twilight, I don't know, I just love that name. I love these 3 bars. So please let me know down below which ones were your favorite from the 10 new bars that's in the spring summer catalog. Which ones did you love the most? Which ones were your bottom ones? And if any of them are going to be going in your club at the end of spring and summer. I would love to know. I love having conversations with you guys down in the comments. So that was it for this video. I hope that that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and record another video while I have a little bit of time. I hope all of you have an absolutely lovely day today, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.